Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of I Am I. My name is Grizzly Ansley, as a friend recently dubbed me. Which reminds me, I just want to get this out there to make sure that we put it out there that I am starting this men's group this weekend, a conscious men's group. Honor Yoga, North Brunswick, 5 p.m. this Sunday, the 18th of August, and then hopefully every third Sunday of the month subsequently. It's just a place for come together and work into the shit that we don't even know that we're not working into, right? So we can step into bigger and bolder places in our lives as men. Anyone's welcome. You know, it's a men's group. If you identify, however the fuck you, I don't fucking know, man. I can't keep track of anything. I just would come if you want to do something. I don't know. So this week, I've been talking about proprioception. Proprioception. So proprioception is actually a really interesting concept. It's kind of cool when I see something, I don't know what you see, but when I see something that is a modern understanding of something that has been known in a different way in antiquity, right? So proprioception is a really powerful understanding of the biomechanisms of the body. It is a biomechanism of the body that are sensors in our body that can actually understand its relationship to itself and objects and things like that in space, right? So it's basically so that I'm not, like bumping into the camera as I'm freaking doing this, or as I go to like get my sunglasses, I'm not like, what? I don't know how to operate this thing, right? Which we don't really know how to operate this thing. So on a very physical level, it is this sensor system that sends messages. It calculates the angle of joints, the length of arms, the muscle tension, and all kinds of like crazy things. Like these bodies are such, oh my God, it's such incredible things. And we learn a little bit about it. We learn basically the minimum amount, and then we just operate at that level, which is just kind of the human nature, right? So we develop fine motor skills when we're like children. They develop these toys that actually help us develop fine motor skills, and now we have toys. Before, I guess it was, I don't know, carving wood or some shit, but they have these toys developed to help us develop our finer motor skills, right? And then once we do that, then we're kind of done. It's just like everything else emotionally. We're just stunted. We learn like a basic operating system, and then we don't actually go into the details of it. Or it's like my understanding of After Effects, like that program goes so damn complex, and I'm like, I can use this, and think that I know what the hell I'm doing, right? So there's a whole world of understanding how these bodies operate, and that's just on this one little level that we're speaking about. So proprioception is, again, it's kind of like when you take your arms out to the side. It's the understanding, it's the feeling through your body, knowing that your arms are actually out to the side, and not like if you said take your arms out to the side and you're, oh yeah, this is out to the side, right? And if you see some people that have very limited proprioception, it kind of can happen like that, Believe me, I teach yoga and I could see it a lot, and there's no judgment. It's just, it happens a lot that people are like, yeah, and it happens to me, where I'm like, I think that my torso is over top of my hips. I mean, now I have a pretty good sense of proprioception. That's what yoga helps us do, is really actually helps us develop a sense of proprioception. So just being in a yoga class is going to do that. It's a process of just awareness. We're always talking about awareness. When you bring your awareness to the breath, right? You start in that is part of proprioception. When you start to feel the rise and the fall of the rib cage, it's actually a powerful thing. And in antiquity, this is things that awareness of the body. I mean, there's sages that are talking about being able to, feel their heartbeat, and feel their pulse through the body. I mean, that's some powerful shit when you start to really get this subtle understanding through the body. So when we start to really have this deeper awareness, it's kind of cool. Anytime I get injured now, which is all the time, it seems like, and I go to the doctor or some sort of chiropractor, they always seem to be excited to work with me because I have a really good sense of proprioception. I have a good sense of self. It's actually talked about a lot as the sense of self, because it is your sense of your awareness of self. So you're not just a bull in a china shop walking through. My hair's getting to that point where I do things like hold it back with sunglasses and shit. Letting that shit go. So proprioception is a really powerful thing to develop in yoga practice, right? And again, this is when you start to get into the subtle areas of just understanding where your body is in space. And it's on a deeper level, it's how you relate to yourself and how you relate to the space and the world around you, right? And your space and your place in this world, right? So it is a tremendously powerful thing. And I was thinking about it today, and I was, what I like to call emotional proprioception, which I like to call as of today, because it's what I thought about when I was teaching the class this morning, was having emotional proprioception as you actually move into this space of proprioception and understanding your relationship to the body and everything like this. On deeper levels, you start to recognize how your emotions are related to that in the body, right? And when you get deeper into the breath, you can start to feel where you're actually holding emotions in the body, and where trauma might be stored in the body, or any other emotions, be it traumatic or not. And then how the thoughts are related to that. Again, this is like this deep inquiry into self, of understanding how then the thoughts are related to that and everything like this. Again, and it took it into yeah, it's gonna be in the freaking year-long vlog next year, a whole nother year from now. See if I can make it a whole nother year. Sometimes I get this point where I'm like, what the fuck am I still doing this? I don't know. So that feeling is like you start to get into the electricity in the body, and this is when you start to get into the chi and the energy, the prana running through the body, and these different energies running through the body. You start to become aware as you start to actually feel your body, and it's quite a powerful practice to just sit there and become aware of your body and start to move mindfully. So in my yoga practice this week, we've been doing a lot of closing the eyes and balancing with the eyes closed. As soon as you have, you could have this beautiful, amazing yoga practice and like balancing on your arm and all this great shit on one finger, and then you close your eyes and it goes to shit. You can't even stand on one leg. It's amazing. That's no judgment. That's just, it's what happens, right? So that can help develop a deeper sense of proprioception if you close the eyes. But again, so then it's also understanding how all this stuff happening in the body, emotional proprioception, right? You start to develop that, and how you relate to the world, right? So how you're relating emotionally with your emotional proprioception to other people and their understanding of this world, right? So again, so that you're not smashing your arm into your face, or that your objects in the room, right? Can we operate that way emotionally as well, to work through ourselves, so that other people can be having their understanding of the world and the room and the space, right? And their emotions and the situation. And can we have that emotional proprioception within ourselves and how we relate to somebody else in that circumstance. And those are the kinds of things I would like to work through into the men's group. It's not a black and white thing. It's not about I'm right, you're wrong, or somebody is even right and wrong. Can we hold space for our own understanding of it, and actually hold space for other people's understandings of it, right? And not looking for a right or wrong, and just be. And so talk about just being in the shit of it, Like, next week, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about next week. I don't even know what I'm talking about this week. But, the magnet of what it takes to really do something of import in your life, the little steps, and how difficult it is to manage your relationships with other people. It's so much easier to just sit there and stay small. It's really easier. Sometimes I'm like, why am I not doing that? And I'm trying to build some really powerful shit, and it's really difficult to hold space for other people's understanding of reality. I mean, just in relationship in general, right? So proprioception is, at its basis, it's fundamental. It's about relationship. Your relationship to yourself, and then how you relate to the world around you on a very physical level. So the emotional proprioception is then how we relate to the world on that emotional level, Anyway, so it's really powerful practice to just close your eyes. I mean, just start even walking. So as I said, I've said this before, we think we know how to walk. We have no idea how to fucking walk. We have no idea how to walk. We figured out the basic, most fundamental idea of like, okay, cool, one foot in front of the other. We just stumble our way through it. We don't actually know the best way to walk. You start closing the eyes and getting into our body and getting into a practice, you could understand, holy shit, I know now, only because I have bad shoulders after 20 years of bad chaturangas, that I didn't have stability in my shoulders, and how to have this sort of understanding through the serratus anterior and this emotional proprioception, that proprioception, that actually hold my body in a particular space. When you hear a yoga teacher giving a cue all the time, and you think you're there and you don't actually know what the heck they're talking about, it's just normal, it's happened. So that journey inward, right, of that inward movement is a powerful thing through proprioception. So it's getting fucking dark out here. I'm getting darker and darker on the screen. In Lakesha Lakin, I am you, you are me. Namaste. What? Too much?